Okay, hello everyone. This is my aunt Patty. She is the keeper of the keys of my mother's side of the family tree. She's done a lot of research in the past few years for her own self, and I think she can kick us off by giving us the foundations of where the Naumann family actually did come from. So if you'd like to take over the reins.
Why, thank you, Tommy. Our family, your mother, my mother, and your mother's mother, came from her side of the family's O'Connors, and they came from Ireland, from County Cork, something. Your mother would know better than that. So one thing your mother knows that I don't know is the actual location in Ireland. And they came over very early 1900s. My father's parents are from Germany. They came over second generation off the boat into Germany. They were, all in New England. And what else do you want to know? How far do you want me to go down? Because as you can tell,
we do have extensive family trees, a lot of pieces of paper. So as far back as we can go, as far back as you can get us. Take us on a trip.
I'll take you on a happy little trip there. Okay, so on my mother's side, on your grandmother's side, we can go back to about 1797, and that goes into our family in Pennsylvania, which I think I've told you, is right outside Gettysburg. It is also known that you, through your mother,
oh my goodness,
I know, are related to Martha Washington. Yes, through her first husband, where her 4 children came from. So that is where we are related. So you are part of American history.
Yeeyee.
And you didn't even know it.
I didn't.
Ah.
I
know. Let's see. So yeah, the McLeafs, they can go back to the late 1700s, and a lot of them stayed in the Pennsylvania area, Gettysburg and whatnot. There was many of them during the Civil War, which I think you want to know about stories, and I can tell you some stories later on about where they grew up and what my mom had told us when she was growing up visiting her family and what they would find in the battlefields. My father's side is a little difficult. I can get him back until the early 1800s, but his grandmother, Lena, actually Elizabeth, but they called her Lena, goes to Germany, and once it skips over to Germany, it's a little difficult to find because he didn't have a lot of information about his side of the family. So, unfortunately, we don't have much on him, but we do have more on our parents, our mother.
Very interesting indeed. So that's as far back as we can kind of go. We've a lot of generations, like 3 generations.
Yes.
3 generations all the way back to Martha Washington, just a long time ago, 1700s. Very extensive.
That's extra points for him, I hope.
I hope too.
Yeah, go on.
And so do we have any notable family members with any achievements? Any veterans in the family?
Yes, we do.
Nobel Peace Prize winners?
No, we do not. We don't have any Nobel Peace Prize winners. However, side note, I did work with the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Hamilton Smith, when I was at Solera. So, other side. Okay, we do actually. My father was one of 8 children, and his older brother, Ed, went into the military service, and I was thinking I was telling you some. So, going through Ancestry, which is what I have been doing so we could calculate or, throw this all together. He went in as a private first class, came out as a master sergeant, but most notably is he was injured in Korea. He took out a nest and saved pretty much the people that he was protecting, and it got him the Silver Star.
Interesting.
So that's very good.
Very valiant.
Very, very valiant. He was actually hurt twice within 3 months. One was March 22nd, and the previous detail was saying that he was seriously wounded by a missile. So through all of that, he was able to save and got the Silver Star.
Wounded by a missile. That's fantastic.
Isn't it?
What a war story.
And then his younger brother, George, he was actually also in Korea, and he got the Bronze Star because he saved someone from drowning, which is kind of poignant because their youngest brother passed away in a drowning accident while Ed was in Japan recuperating from these injuries. And my father, your grandfather, was leaving to go to join the Korean War the day after his funeral. Now, other thing we also have, I found today, Phineas Lawton.
Interesting.
And that is on my father's side. And it's actually his World War I draft registration card from, very, very good. So, yes.
Yeeyee.
Now, do you want to hit up with, we'll wait for this one because I know you like this one.
I do like that one. I mean, that's about what we got for we have a lot of veterans in the family, a lot Korean War, World War I.
My father also was a veteran. He did.
Veteran. See?
Yes.
So, yeah, let's hit up with the Irish bloodline all the way back.
Okay, this one, we're a little concerned about telling you because, you'll probably, use it. But one of the things on my mother's side, O'Connor's, her father was obviously from Ireland. And one of the stories was, back then there were two O'Connor clans, serious clans. One was O-R spelling and then an E-R. And they kind of fought, so to speak. And ours won out, so the O'Connors is, spelled like ours, which is, O-C-O-N-N-E-R. The great thing is, and through this was going through my parents' papers, we're actually related. We are, not so much Tommy, but we know, to the last king of Ireland.
Fascinating.
I know. I knew you would love it.
Indeed.
And it's very, very interesting. So this goes back to 1010.
1010.
Not the time.
Not the time.
The year.
The year.
And it goes back, and it's obviously, as you can tell, very old.
Very old.
And whatnot. So it is very, very.
VCR.
Yeah. It is very cool. And I have a lot of letters that my grandfather had written back to his family when he was over here, and the same thing. And it was just a definite different time. And it's really interesting because we have Martha Washington on our mother's side, our mother's mother, and we have the last king of Ireland on our mother's father.
Just looking at some of these. Brian or Bernard O'Connor, 1490 question mark to 1560 question mark, succeeded to the lordship of O'Falley in 1511. This is quite the achievement, if I do say so myself.
I guess this is why your mom, knows that I am the keeper.
The keeper of the keys for the family tree. Make sure it's the keeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
if you do want this to use, absolutely. I just, we'll need it back because that is truly, if you can see it in person, it truly is,
old.
Very old. Back when they actually typed on typewriters.
Compiled by. Sorry. All right. Well, thank you very much,
You are
Aunt
quite
Patty,
welcome.
for your extensive knowledge of the Naumann side of the family tree.
Anything for you. I'm glad because I think I taught you some things that you didn't know.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.